Okay, we are live. Hey, everybody. Thanks for joining Luke and I. We're very excited to talk to you all. Oh, whoop, my bad. All right, now we're live. Hey, everybody. Thanks so much for joining us today. I have the pleasure of being joined by my buddy Luke Galley-Ardo here. Buddy, how are you doing today?
I'm doing great.
Doing good? You
Doing
feel good
great.
after that watch through?
Oh, it's a little sleepy. 3 hours long.
It's a long one. I forgot how long it was. I'll say for like 3 hour long movies, it did go pretty fast though, to some degree, don't you think?
Yeah, there were some tedious scenes to it, but overall, yeah, it was quicker.
Yeah, I guess it did. I don't know. There were some times where I think they indulged themselves a little bit, where it's like, okay, you could have maybe cut out like 2/3 of that
They
scene,
drug
but
it out.
I don't know. It was such good quality though. Well, anyways, thank you for joining us here today for Tuesday Night Movie Talk. Today we are focusing on Heat 1995, and the big reason why we're doing that is to celebrate a fallen actor, unfortunately, Val Kilmer, who's in the background here with the LMG. He was absolutely sweet in this movie. Going in, I thought that Val Kilmer would have a much bigger character and that this would be more of his movie because whenever somebody mentions Val Kilmer, they always bring up Heat. I've heard it time and time again. Heat, Val Kilmer, Heat. And I was like, okay, this must be his movie, right? Well, we went in and we were pretty surprised. There wasn't very much Val Kilmer in this, but I mean, he definitely hit it home. Luke, would you say you were pretty surprised by that?
Yeah, it was pretty intense. I mean,
Well, I mean,
this
he wasn't
guy.
like he was barely in it. Didn't you think we'd be seeing like tons of him?
No, yeah, the scenes that he was in, he definitely stood out in a very intense way. So I think I give that to him.
Yeah. Oh man, he was absolutely intense in this. We're gonna talk more about him later because, like we just said, he's not a very big part of this movie, but he definitely he adds a lot of value to this picture and to this team. If you're not familiar with the story, this was second technically my second time watching this film. It was Luke's first time, right? This is your first time. All right, we're gonna go
Correct.
over our reaction soon, but the first time I watched it. I got through maybe a third of it and then I fell asleep. It's a long movie. Like Luke said, it's almost 3 hours long. And a lot of the time, it is a bit of a slow burn. It's not, it has a lot of momentum and it's exciting. And there's moments where just everything gets really crazy all at once. And at that time, you were just thrown into this absolutely wild roller coaster. But then there's also long shots and long periods of time where, there's conversation or aerial shots or, building the tension, which I love, which both of us love. But it kind of the speed of the story kind of shifts in and out. And I don't think it's a bad thing at all. I like slow moments. I enjoy breathing in a movie, not having the camera flashing all over the place, left and right. Um, and I think some of my favorite parts of film in general are the times when two characters just sit down and talk and pick each other's brains. And that's one of the best scenes in this movie, which we're going to address later. And of course, the two characters that absolutely hit a home run in this are Robert De Niro here on the left and Al Pacino on the right. The story focuses on both of these guys. I mean, it's really just back and forth between these two. Val Kilmer and the rest of the heist crewmates are very much so secondary. And Al Pacino is really just the main character of his own story. There's like two totally different stories here that collide multiple times over in this. Robert De Niro's character, he is an expert heistman. He is a hustler. He has done crazy odd jobs, robbing banks, doing really, really deep, intelligible heists. He's a genius. He's a super genius, along with his crew. And his crew are not just a bunch of idiots. There's maybe like one or two idiots in there, but they have a lot of experience under their belt. So these guys are not messing around. Right off the bat, they get into a lot of trouble in the movie. Just a simple little heist. And one of the guys goes kind of nuts and starts killing some cops. They did not want that. They do not want the heat of a cop's death on their ass because, of course, that's just going to bring a swelling of tons of cops, tons of attention. That's the last thing these guys wanted. Robert De Niro's character throughout this whole movie is trying to get out of the action. He knows what he's doing, and he's in the thick of it right now. But he's done. He wants this next big heist to be the last one. He wants to take it easy, go far off somewhere else, meet a nice lady, and settle down. At first, it's kind of hard to tell if that's what he wants, but over time, throughout the movie, he slowly pieces together that conclusion that, you know what, I'm done with this life. I'm sick of it. I want to just settle down with a nice lady, because he does find a lady, and at first, very much so hesitant to get involved. He ends up kind of falling for her, and you couldn't blame him if you watched the movie. But when shit hits the fan and the cop dies, Al Pacino is sent to find these guys. And Al Pacino's character, he is a LAPD detective, and he's incredible. This guy, being a detective and investigative work, is his sole purpose in life. He has a family, he has a wife, and he has a stepdaughter. He loves his stepdaughter and he loves his wife, but work takes priority every day, and it shows. His personal life is sort of in shatters. His wife has an estranged relationship with him. She's really not that invested, and it's his stepdaughter is what's a good word I can use? That I don't know if you can say the word on YouTube or not, but she hurts herself a lot, and she wants to put herself in a place where she is no longer alive on Earth. Really sad, and you don't really get that. You don't really understand that intention right off the bat, but you can
She's
tell that she's
traumatized.
struggling. Yeah, traumatized, very much so traumatized. And I don't exactly know what from. Do you know why? Why she is? Why she's in such a
Yeah,
rough mental state? I didn't
because
catch that.
her father is an abusive, very abusive man, and Al Pacino's character is there to support her and be that father figure for her.
And you're talking about the old father that is not in the picture,
Yeah,
not
yeah,
Al
yeah.
Pacino.
Yeah, I did not show him, but she is very, very messed up in the head because of her father
Okay,
and
that's
her
good
past family
call.
life.
Yeah. So yeah, Natalie Portman, she's very young. That's the daughter. And she's also famous for another movie that she's like a younger actress in. I'm not sure what it is. Do you know what I'm talking about? That's
I spent all
like
this
I
time
feel like
thinking about
this
it, but
movie, and then
I
there's another one where she was a younger actress and it was like real popular.
Star
I don't
Wars.
No, she wasn't that young. Gosh. She was very popular with that one too, of course. But never mind. So he's having a rough time in life. And you know what? Shit just continues to hit the fan in his job too. He really can't catch a break. His friends are dying left and right. He works alongside a crew that does not really match his intelligence or his his command over the situation, because his character is a very commanding character and he truly strives to get his work done to the absolute best of his abilities, and it comes off genuine. It does not come off as like some smart ass, some guy that gets everything handed in his life. It's pretty like really like powerful performance. He is a powerful man. Same for De Niro. He also has these same traits where what he says goes. What both of these guys says goes, and what they want to do, they're going to do it, if you like it or not. If someone gets in their way, it does not matter. They are going to plow right through you, and they'll do so in an intelligible way where they will benefit to the max. And of course, both of them have totally different intentions. And I think one of the most exciting elements of the movie that I did not see coming was putting together just how evil De Niro's character really is. I want to get your thoughts on that later, Luke, because I think that's a really deep rabbit hole we're going to go down talking about that. Because Robert De Niro, he turns out, right off the bat, you think he's just some simple guy. They're not trying to kill anybody at first. It's simple jobs, just in and out. They just want the money. They don't want to hurt anybody. And man, do things change quick towards the end. And he slowly just like develops into this monster. And it's like you can't really feel for him like you did in the very beginning. But um Luke, going in to see this movie, you didn't know what to expect. So
I
what did you think going in to see Heat? Did you know anything about it already? Had
I
you heard good
didn't.
things?
I asked a few people around work about it, and they said it's pretty good. I had no clue who was in it other than Vad Kilmer. Had no clue who was in it. But as I began to watch it, I became more invested because I saw De Niro, I saw Pacino. I was like, okay, this is gonna be good. This is gonna be great. Great cast here, so they're all badass.
Uh-huh. Oh yeah, I think I was kind of surprised. Like I don't know what it is. I've seen pictures of like De Niro in this in particular, and for whatever reason, I don't know. I'm a weirdo. Some things just turn me off about a movie when I see a picture I don't like, or I hear something that I don't like about it. And when I saw the pictures of De Niro, I wonder if I have any queued up here. Let's see. Uh, no, I don't. Dang it. But De Niro, I'm not a big fan of this goatee he has. And there's like so many like iconic pictures of him rocking this goatee
I
in
thought he
like
rocked
different.
it.
He did inevitably, but before I went into it, I don't know what it was. It just looked like a cheap '90s film when I saw that initially, and it turned me off. But going in to see this, I mean, I didn't expect it to turn into this spectacle because, like I said, the first time I watched this, I wasn't really all that invested in seeing it, but I just kept hearing great things about it, and with the passing of Val Kilmer, I wanted to try something out that was his. I never would have imagined also how exciting it would be as let's see who said it in the chat here. Just with Jared mentions it's a chess match between De Niro and Pacino because that's the best part of the film. Just like he says, these two they really do have an intense chess match where they both have giant brains and pretty big egos, and they're constantly putting each other to the test, trying to see who's going to get on top of the situation. De Niro, they both have similar motives. They're both inspired by their craft. They're both experts at what they do. De Niro, he's great at evading, getting what he wants, and uh, you know, getting himself out of uncomfortable situations, no matter what gets in his way. He's a runner. You know what I mean? He's a runner. He knows how to escape these horrible situations. And Pacino here, he's a chaser. He's an expert at catching the bad guys. He's an expert at unraveling these dynamic, unbelievable puzzles that he finds himself in. Because these guys, I mean, they put on a show for him. Robert De Niro, Val Kilmer, and his entire crew. They at one point in time in the film, they trap him. They trap the cops and they bait them into this. What was it? It was like some sort of like construction site where they had a bunch of like pipes or something. It was
Like
it was a
oil,
weird space. Like a what?
like a what do you call it?
I don't know what you call it. It doesn't matter.
Yeah.
It's like some sort of construction site, and it was this whole elaborate hoax to get them out there. Us as the audience, we couldn't really understand what the purpose of what they did was because we see De Niro and Kilmer and all them. They kind of make it look like there's something of importance in this one space, and they lead all these cops there, the detectives, and then they end up tricking them to where, oh wait, no, this was a trap. We wanted to see who you guys were, so they got them right in the middle there, and they did some reconnaissance. They looked them up, and they learned all about these detectives, and they used that information against them later on in the movie. And I think it was. There's a part of me that kind of like I don't know what it is. There's a part of me that kind of would rather see more dumb hustlers, heistmen do something like this because I feel like it's kind of commonplace to see like genius, well-off heistmen in movies. I don't know what it is. I feel like that's something I've seen many times over. Uh, but these guys aren't necessarily. They are not stupid at all. They are very well versed. So I don't know. That was something I wish there would have been like one weak link within this group that really screwed all of them up. And there wasn't exactly. We'll talk about it later, but there was one guy who turned out to be an absolute loose cannon. So he could be considered a weak link. They do cut him off early in the film, and he does come back towards the end to cause a lot of trouble. But yeah, there's a lot of good stuff to say about Heat. I wish this was something I got to see in the theaters. I did not expect that this movie would be mostly drama based because this is definitely just a deep drama. A lot of conversations, a lot of tension. My gosh, tension is the key word to use with this film. Tension just grows and grows and grows, and we are given so many incredible characters with awesome dialogue to chew on throughout the movie. Robert De Niro, his character, he really evolves from start to finish, and there's payoffs throughout the film based on what he says, And I think it's fun when you can see like if you can call back on something early in a movie where a character says something that is like kind of important, but you don't really, it, you don't think you'll be hearing from it again. But they do then here. They follow up their promises. They say what they mean, and there's a lot of like just crazy conflicts that appear throughout the movie that make the whole story go by pretty quickly, and you kind of get lost in this world because it feels like it's a totally different world in itself because there is just so much tension, so much conflict that builds. And you would think that it would be strenuous. You would think that it would be too much to handle here because there's just you dealing with Al Pacino's home life, conflicts with his wife, conflicts with her cheating, conflicts with their friend circle and the other detectives. Then you have Robert De Niro. You follow his story with the other crewmates. You follow the other crewmates' family stories, and you're introduced to them and their dramas. Val Kilmer and his wife. That's a decent storyline in this. You also deal with Al Pacino and his daughter. That's something big. Then you see a developing romance between De Niro and a new lady that he likes. And then you see also multiple conflicts build from the very beginning when they cut the gross crew member loose. This guy, oh gosh, let me get his name real quick. I have it written here. Wangro, yeah. When they cut him loose, he is a loose cannon that gets them into a lot of trouble right off the bat. He ends up coming back towards the end, causes even more trouble. That's one conflict that just really screws things up for De Niro and his crew. He's also dealing with whoops, my bad. He's also dealing with Al Pacino and his advances, which are never ending. And there are other outside elements as well. There's also another, gosh, I don't have the guy's name in the top of my head, but there's a banker, like a very wealthy banker businessman, and he gets involved with De Niro and his crew, and he backstabs him, and then he becomes another threat, and that's another conflict. So this film juggles so many exciting elements. You think you would just be exhausted by it. Did you think, Luke, that they played that well, where they were able to give us all these delicious ingredients to chew on? Do you think it was too much, or do you think it worked just fine?
I think they played it off well. Got me interested.
Which one of those elements did you think was most exciting for you?
I mean, I wasn't really like too invested in all of that. I want to hear more of what you got on it.
Hmm?
I want to hear more of your opinion on that one.
Oh, well, I'm talking about. So I'm just mentioning a bunch of the conflicts because there's all sorts. I think for me,
no, because my conflicts, the biggest conflicts I had, and it's conflict that I don't really understand. Like, what is keeping? For me, it's what's keeping. I know probable cause, but what's keeping Pacino from busting him in the scene right here? What is I mean, he has enough on him. Like
I guess did he have proof at this point?
Yeah.
Did he have proof at this point that De Niro was one of the heistmen in the beginning, though? Did he have proof? Did he have evidence?
I mean, they had
suspicions, at least.
You've seen their faces. They have surveillance, right?
I don't remember right off the beginning of the movie. That's the problem. Because, yeah, so halfway through the movie, this is when, I mean, your heart just starts pumping. This is an amazing scene we're looking at right here between Al Pacino and De Niro. This is about halfway through the movie, if not maybe 60% of the way through, and a lot of shit has hit the fan at this point. And Al Pacino, he's driving on the road, and he cuts De Niro off, and he tells him, "Hey, you want to get a coffee? Let's talk." And they have a one-on-one here, and it's good guy versus bad guy, and they just kind of they tear down the veils of their minds. They tear down, or they reveal who they really are to each other. And it turns out they have a lot in common. They have a lot in common, but they have totally different motives, and they're both set on completely opposite goals, and neither of them will turn away from these goals at all. So it's two unstoppable forces approaching each other. And the conclusion of this conversation is that, you know what? If we get to a point where we cross paths, I will have no mercy on you. And it's kind of funny they get to that point, which is, kind of like you'd see it coming, because they almost have a friendly conversation. They were kind of getting along. They were sort of having fun. Um, I don't
I
know.
admired
Did you
the
think?
level. I admired the level of like respect they had for for one another. It just surprised me. Like Pacino's character is looking at probably like the number one most wanted man in like American history at the time, and he's just like, you got to do you at the end. If you
Uh-huh.
want to pull through this, you got to do what you got to do. And like I can't believe he's
Yeah.
taking him so easy. Like this guy is causing him so much trouble.
Yeah,
You
he
know,
is revealing. He's literally revealing what he's going to do, right? I mean, that's a good
and then
point.
and then Robert De Niro's character is saying the same thing back to him. He's like, all right, well, so be it. I mean, I'm gonna keep going, so I will kill you. It's just
Yeah, yeah. How does he get away with that necessarily? Something that was like cool about Al Pacino's character. I definitely want to talk about who our favorite characters are at some point today because, gosh, this movie just gives us so many just juicy, incredible characters with so much excitement built upon them, so much momentum. Just their characters just skyrocket throughout the movie. Um, Al Pacino, he's an interesting detective. This guy, he's intense. Boy, oh my gosh, I miss so much the command that men actors used to have in these films. You get a lot of it in the 90s. The 90s was just full of it. And these guys, both these guys, I love the word command because they had balls. You know what I mean? These guys had balls of steel and they were confident and they were strong. They didn't back down to anybody, and they were totally built on purpose and a mission. You know, totally different missions, totally different purposes. But it's inspiring to see that passion and the strength because they were strong, maybe not physically strong, but geez, mentally strong and determined. I don't think we get very many determined male characters anymore, quite like this, because these guys are just at a realistic level where anybody could really be like this if they truly had the confidence to be. And Al Pacino's character, um, you know, a lot of his determination was shown in his kind of underground dealings because he was able to get a lot of information underground through kind of shady resources, sort of playing the game, like I scratch your back, you scratch mine with some kind of criminal people. And it was interesting to see him unravel De Niro's story by going through these illegal means of talking to these underground criminals. The same went for De Niro. You know what I mean? He's definitely he's a gentleman. He's a gentleman. He's a businessman, but he is a relentless force that just can't be reckoned with. Luke, out of these two characters, who do you think captivated you the most in this movie?
oh, De Niro's mastermind. I mean, his ego is so big. It's his ego going crazy. I mean, he's got a plan, and he's too stubborn not to, you know, too smart. He's too genius to. I
Mm,
mean, he's got everything. He sees miles away of his plan. He knows what he's doing. He is always 10 steps ahead of the police. And hey,
yeah.
if you're a mastermind, hey, don't stop. You know, I have a fun comparison really quick. I really wish this is how Hank treated Heisenberg. Like, I mean, when
Oh wow, wouldn't that have been cool?
I mean,
Yeah.
because like I mean, you got the mastermind Heisenberg, and then you got Hank, the stubborn one who won't stop until he gets the. Uh, I just had to say that because you have to go tea and everything, and
Uh-huh.
but
Oh, good
yeah,
point.
I feel like yeah, De Niro, he's just so smart and genius, and it's so fun to watch him like just go through with
Mm,
ease and all these heists and whatnot, and at the same time avoid uh, getting caught.
yeah, that's a
I mean,
good point. I
he
like that.
rang
Sorry, continue.
he just sorry no just like everything did like he's caught they have I'm not going to say the ending but he's they have him and then out of nowhere, he just does one thing and he's free again.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, you're right. Yeah. I think we're gonna avoid some spoilers here. We might wait till the very end. I mean, everybody has probably seen this. I think Luke and me, we are kind of set on recommending this movie because I hope us talking about it today excites you enough to watch it because there's a lot
Right.
of good quality content here. But it's an investment. I mean, it's like reading a novel watching this.
Right.
There's just so much that unfolds here. So it's a lot to process.
And
And um, but I think for me, out of these two, I think I got to go with Al Pacino. Man, Al Pacino is so cool in this. I was like, because he's older in this, obviously. Now he's super old, of course, just like De Niro's super old now. But I didn't think he'd have like that swagger or he'd have the same kind of gravitas
he
that he did
did.
in like Scarface. But oh boy, did he ever. Or like Godfather. Man, this guy, Constitution, man, Constitution.
He was good.
So cool. I loved him. I want to act like him. he was cool.
He's
I think De
intense.
Niro was cool, but Al Pacino, I don't know, just
Yeah.
unique. And I think you know what? These guys are people. That's something that's great about this. These two characters are people. They're not like just blank, bland, cookie cutter, person one and person two. These are two totally different guys. They have interesting backgrounds. They have their own drama and weird, weird backgrounds. It makes for great quality characters that you can level with, that you can understand, and that you can kind of feel for at times. Al Pacino, his his rough history with his family, his home life, and uh his troublesome work life. It's all like we've all been in similar situations, not to really the gravity of torment that he's been through here, hopefully for most people. But these are two people, and that's something that carries throughout this whole movie. Is these characters are people, all of them. Val Kilmer. Let me see. Do I have a good picture of Val Kilmer here? Yeah, this isn't the best picture of him. We'll get to we'll talk about this later. But Val Kilmer here, he has a lovely wife and a daughter. Was that a girl? I think it was a girl.
Uh,
It was a baby, whatever.
it
I
was a
think let's
boy.
say it was a daughter. Oh, was it a boy?
Yeah.
Okay. I think oh, you're right. Yeah, I think the kid's name was Mike or something. You're right, it was a boy. But anyways, he's got a family, but he also has a rough relationship with his wife, and she's sort of being promiscuous with some other guy, some other rube. And he's also kind of caught in a weird situation where he's sort of desperate for money and he's on the move. He doesn't want to just stay in one place, but the wife is getting sick of it. She's getting sick of running around, and he has to make some difficult decisions in this film, which all of those difficult decisions lead him to this point in time, which is this scene. Which I mean, we might as well get into it real quick because we could talk about it like in depth if you want. But this is one of the highlights of the movie. So, like I said, this film is mostly a drama. I mean, I'd say like 85% of it's a drama. When you say, Luke?
Oh yeah. I mean,
I
there's
mean,
a
the
lot of
action,
yeah.
the action is a highlight, but
Yeah.
boy, when it hits, when
For
there's
sure.
action, boy, it hits hard like a train. It's insane. Like
Don't
it
play
just
around.
erupts. This is Luke. I think you're the one that mentioned that this was your favorite gunfight you've ever seen in a
Oh
film.
yeah. It was. I mean, it went on for at least what
It went on for a while. Do you
six,
want to
7 minutes.
tell?
I
Do
mean,
you want to tell the audience what happened here, like the build up and what
yeah.
went down?
What happened? They drove away right before they drove away from Al Pacino's character. They were at first they were firing out of the cars and hitting on the police officers, and
Wait,
then
why?
they.
But why were they? Why was this heist happening? Like, what happened
Oh,
before
you have
this?
to refresh me on that.
It was the
What?
bank. Remember, they went to the
Oh yeah,
bank.
yeah, yeah. They did the
Yeah.
bank. They had it all calm, everything calm. They were like, who said that? Somebody, I think, said that Practical Brown was saying that they were easy on like all like the people saying like trying to save them, trying to keep them out of trouble,
Uh-huh.
saying if you cooperate, we'll be all good. And then of course they get out of there, and then the cops get there. They kind of block off the road. They start firing their machine guns, And then the part that was crazy to me was um, inside of the car through the windshield. Robert De Niro shooting through the windshield, and then hell just broke loose. I mean, it was just crazy. There's so much going on at the same, but it was horrible. I mean, these guys, can't believe they survived. The ratio of police and these bad guys, it was almost
An
unrealistic.
army of cops, an
Yeah,
army
army of
of
cops
cops.
versus literally, I think just Val Kilmer here.
Yeah, Val
Like,
Kilmer, De Niro, and the other dude. I mean, that was
because
it. Just three guys.
yeah, it was
And they took
insane. It
on a
was
lot of those cops, and they took out a lot of them.
yeah, it was pretty brutal. I liked that they didn't censor much. Not to sound vulgar or anything, I just like it seemed realistic. It seemed like as intense as
Yeah.
you would expect.
Yeah, so like the build up to this big gunfight was pretty intense, you know. I mean, they I guess like somebody mentioned in the chat, it was a they did this crazy bank heist. They were very kind and polite to the people. They just wanted the money, and they had just supreme control over the situation here. I don't think I've actually, if it weren't for like a tiny detail which set Al Pacino off to like investigate this, I think everything would have went just fine. Remember? I don't know if you remember. Everything, there weren't any alarms blown on this at all until somebody within the department told Al Pacino that they discovered that Val Kilmer or it was like De Niro, they were scouting out this bank. And then all of a sudden it's like, oh crap, game on, let's go to the bank. I mean, if that guy wouldn't have just told him just casually in conversation that they checked out this bank at the time they did, they would have escaped with all this money freely because everything was completely under control. This could have been one of the most successful heists in a film at first if it weren't for Al Pacino just getting that small little tip from the other cop. And it was cool. It was exciting. They got tons of cash, just sitting there waiting for them. Then they get out. Al Pacino eventually reaches them, and there's a really sad buildup to a small element of the film that was just a like a an interesting little, I don't know, a decoration for the movie that I don't think a lot of people consider very much, which was the Allstate guy. I don't know if you remember the Allstate guy. He's booming voice. He's in this as a younger man, and they set this guy up. This will all make sense in a second if you're not familiar with the film. They set this guy up as just some normal dude who is looking for a simple job. So he gets a job. He's a cook, and he has a really douchey boss.
Poor man.
He can't stand his job. The guy is awful. The boss is terrible. He doesn't get any breaks or anything. It's awful. And Robert De Niro and Val Kilmer and all of them, right before this this heist happens, they visit him at the restaurant, and they say, "Man, you know what? They knew him. Like I guess he had some priors or something. He was in prison with them for being a driver or doing some mischievous activity. They said, "This is a big opportunity for you. Will you drive us right now? Say yes or no." And they build this guy up as like a nice guy. You know what I mean? You could tell that he's had a troubled past, but he's moved on from it. And then he says, "Yeah." He says, well, I won't say it, but he says yes, and he joins them, and he dies really quickly. And it was so sad. I was like, man, this guy was, he looked cool.
Yeah.
He was a relatable dude to some degree, some elements.
Jared, you're
And
right with that. He was not necessary at all.
he said he wasn't necessary.
No, he was not. I mean,
wasn't.
There was no.
But he was a good like accent to it that made it interesting, though.
It was kind of funny, honestly. I mean, he was in and out this so quickly.
Yeah, why did they do that?
I
I think
don't
they
know.
were just trying to. It gave more gravity to the situation, right? I mean, what
So-
mattered about this heist was, and the deaths of some of these characters was that we had some sort of buildup with them. It wasn't just a bunch of goons getting shot, and I can respect that. I respect that we understood. We got to learn who these people were. And Val Kilmer, he gets pretty hurt in this scene, and then one of the guys, he's a pudgier dude. He dies. Al Pacino gets him. But I remember him from a war movie. He was either in Band of Brothers, Saving Private Ryan, or Fury. I think he was in Saving Private Ryan, but he was in this. And I actually didn't like him at all. I don't have a picture of him either, so we'll just skip him. But I think this scene right here, this gunfight, is super cool. Really, I mean, if you wanted to just watch the film and continue through and get to the point where this happens, this is a good stopping point right here once this gunfight's over. So if you don't want to go through the whole thing, check that out. Luke, do you have any more final thoughts about the gunfight before we move on to some chats?
No, other than the Allstate guy, they just showed the severity of the situation. Just because he got shot in the head right as he was driving the car.
Yeah,
It showed
yeah.
how serious and how serious it was to catch these guys, and that kind of was that towards the end of it.
Yeah, it was
Okay,
towards the
yeah.
end.
All right, that was like, damn. All right, well,
So, like, this was like, I think something this film also just deserves tons of credits for before we go to the chat is the action in this is so well done. It's incredible. I mean, you are just engrossed in this gunfight. And there's a few like major like battles that erupt throughout the movie. And they just suck you right in. And they are incredible and intense. You don't see gunfights like this anymore. I mean, this is really one of a kind. This is impressive. Let's go to the chats. Before we do, though, guys, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. We greatly appreciate that. Northern English Bastard. Oh, yes. It's good to see you, buddy. Thanks for joining us. The Gist with Jared. Yeah, Val's role was pretty small in Heat. Yeah, it was small. I'm surprised. This is the film that everyone mentions. They don't want to talk about Batman. Unfortunately, nobody likes him as Batman. And sorry, Val. Oh, hello, Cass. Good evening, Luke. The Gist with Jared. The chess match between Deniro and Pacino is the best part of the film. Yep, we talked about that. Greetings, Earthlings. Hey, Brown Eyes. Proctophile. We're doing good, man. We're doing good. We're excited. We're pumped. We're pumped after checking this movie out. That was a good time watching this. Brown Eyes of Mandalore. What's up, man? Leon the Professional. That's the one with a young Natalie Portman, as well as Gary Oldman's famous Everyone scene. I don't know that. Leon the Professional. That's the movie one. That's the movie, huh? Leon the Professional. Okay. I wasn't expecting that.
I've never seen that.
I thought it'd be like, I think, were you the one that mentioned Taxi Driver earlier today? Or
No, that was Ty.
He thought this felt a lot like Taxi Driver, this movie. What's interesting about De Niro's character is that he's that likable villain. He's absolutely evil, but he acts with a weird compassion. Like, despite his nonchalant slaughtering, there's the scene in the bank where he's trying to get the people to not interfere so he doesn't have to kill them. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, he's a weird, likable villain. And like the villain and the hero split the screen 50-50 throughout the whole thing. It was mostly him. I mean, you mostly follow the villain. And he does terrible things nonchalantly, as Brown Eyes, our friend, says. The movie's like ambient crime, if that makes any sense. Almost noir-like. It has many similarities to another later Michael Mann film, Collateral. The first scene of Heat made me think of Collateral. I've been tempted to check out Collateral. That's with Tom Cruise. I think he's like an assassin or something, isn't he? Huh. Brown Eyes. Oh, yeah. You make a good point about the juggling of multiple elements. I personally did think there was too many, making the movie longer than it needed to be. Like, it could have had the same results. Yeah, I mean, you're not wrong. I don't know what they could have cut. I think they could have shortened some things. I mean, 3 hours is a long time. Blue collar loser. What's up, man? Jackson, get off your ass and enable super chats. LOL. I'll catch the replay tomorrow. Yeah, nah, man. The chat's good, man. The chat's good. Thanks, though, buddy. And I'm not there yet. Without the banker plot and loose gang member plot. Oh, yeah, so get rid of the banker plot and the loose gang member. I don't know. Man, I love the loose gang member one. That was awesome. Just with Jared, if I remember correctly, Pacino wants to get De Niro in the act so that he gets out away for good versus in a court battle for a less definitive arrest. That is correct. You're right about that. Yeah, they have Pacino and his team has the chance to arrest him for breaking and entering earlier on, and he decides not to do that. So I guess it probably isn't long after that scene where he encounters De Niro on the road. I can't remember the exact timeline, unfortunately. Pacino's dinner scene / conversation with his wife about his job always being number one was so good. Conversation with his wife about his job. Wow, you really like it that much? I don't know. I don't really. You remember that one, Luke?
What the
Like,
when
does that
she
stick
served
out
him
to you?
when she served him cold chicken? Oh yeah,
Oh, that
he
one
was
is good. Yeah,
yeah. It was different from the rest of the movie, but I mean, it was a little side
I
piece
did
in
not like
Pacino's
her.
life.
I didn't like her. She had a
Yeah,
bad haircut
I
too.
got that.
You got that.
No, I understood that. Yeah, I kind of got the vibe that you didn't like her.
In this movie, Michael Corleone kills his father, a young Vito. Wait, who's Michael Corleone? Wait, that's Godfather, isn't it?
Something like that.
I don't know, man. Sorry. I need to rewatch Godfather. We need to do that soon. Proctophile, good to see you, man. We don't get many strong characters at all nowadays. Mostly just a bunch of basic archetypes following tropes. Yeah, archetypes. Yeah, exactly. Right? I mean, why not? I don't think it's that hard to develop a person here. Hello. It's not that hard. Now, just base it off of someone in your own life. I mean, give them some purpose, some background. Just with Jared, I had a hard time buying into the De Niro romance angle. Oh, what? That he was like, he'll be with a lady when he wants one or when he's ready. Maybe that's what you're talking about, or maybe his weird relationship he had with that girl.
I think that's
I'm
what
not
you're talking
sure.
about.
I kind of liked. I don't know. I liked his demeanor. He was cool. Um, let's see. I think we're okay. So we talked about that. Let's see here. So, Luke, what did you think talking about the movie? What scene or what was there any part of the film that excited you the most about Heat? Anything that stuck out to you that you'd want to revisit just on your own?
Um, I'd say okay. It was definitely a scene in the beginning of the movie. It was before like the confrontation between Pacino and Robert De Niro because I liked the. I'm trying to think of the word. I liked when they didn't know about each other yet because it was more intense and they didn't know what to expect from each other. But my favorite scene was probably the opening scene because it was like you just threw it at you and you're like, oh, these cops and this guy in this what's his name the loose cannon
Oh
criminal.
yeah. Wait, let me get his name.
Yeah,
Wangro.
yeah, Waingro. That's just how
Yeah.
he had the balls to do that, and he got away, and he just messed everything up for these guys with. And then De Niro went to the restaurant and kind of like roughed him up, and you're like, oh, he's with these guys. So
Mhm.
that's what I really like. That it really jumped me into the movie, like made me quite interested.
I think for me, I loved just seeing like um, Pacino's investigative work. I love seeing him just unravel all these all these elements to bring him to De Niro. I thought it was so exciting. Watch the eagerness rise within himself, and as awful as the guy I just mentioned was it Wangro? I keep forgetting immediately. Yeah, Wangro, who is this dude, as evil and horrible as he was like he's a villain within a villain's narrative. I mean, De Niro and all them, they are ugly, they're gross, evil people. But then there's this guy who's the villain to the villains. And it was kind of interesting to see him become that, right off the bat. They were all together at first, and then he sort of branches off and does some stupid stuff. And you know what? There's a point where I might just say one little spoiler that he becomes a threat to De Niro and his crew towards the end of the film, and he's a pretty freaky threat. And I think one of the most shocking scenes for me was Danny Trejo. He's in this. He's younger and he looks exactly the same, like he always does. And his name is literally Trejo in this, which is also funny. I don't know why they literally just called him what his name is, and he gets beat really badly by this dude. You don't see it happen, but De Niro comes to talk to Trejo, and he sees him, and boy, he is in a rough spot. And he has a really rough conversation with Trejo's character. But that all happened with this guy. And for me, this character was, I think he has to be the most evil character in the whole movie. But, after you get to learn more about De Niro, you kind of wonder, is he more evil? Because, as the chat mentioned earlier, he nonchalantly just does awful things. And, I think his evil acts are just padded by his politeness and his sometimes his decency. So, Luke, who do you think was like the most evil character within the crew? Was it either of these two? Was it somebody else?
This guy, I mean, yes, De Niro had way more. His kill count was way higher, but like those weren't like savage kills. This guy, he murdered that young girl for no reason at all, and then he just goes to the bar like nothing even happened right after.
And he was a serial killer for that too.
Yeah. That's what he
Mhm.
was. Okay,
And I think she was a prostitute.
Yeah, but still, I mean, that's
Yeah, it's
pretty
awful.
brutal. I mean, yeah, it's a horrible man. I mean, these guys were doing something to get money. This guy was just doing it, just to ruin lives.
For pleasure, yeah.
Yeah, this guy's horrible.
Yeah. It was interesting how he became a sort of hired gun towards the later end of the movie. I think he would have to be like, he's the most evil, but he's got to be like, I don't know. I wouldn't say he's my least favorite character because I think he was interesting, as awful as he was. But I think my least favorite character was probably the wife. I didn't like her.
Which wife?
Al Pacino's wife. I thought she like just screwed things up. She was just constantly miserable, constantly getting at him. But I could also understand her points of view because I mean, she, he's not really there for her ever. Yeah, he's on the job. The job is his life. He's kind of doesn't give her much attention, but she does weird things and she just, I don't know.
Putting makeup on when she's going out by herself. And...
Yeah, she's upset with him. So she thought, oh, I'll just go out, to the bar and I'll look all pretty, It's all right. You don't know what's going on.
She hooked up with that guy she brought home.
In that, yeah.
She did. So she was
Those are gross things.
By the time, like, even the whole movie, she was like they were still together, but it was over the whole time. They weren't in a healthy marriage. They were dead in the water throughout the whole movie. You could just tell the fire was out.
The fire was out. So do you think is she your least favorite character?
No, not my least favorite character.
Oh, who's your least favorite? Just like least favorite. It doesn't mean like they're like the least evil or they I don't know. It's like just which character you don't like.
He's I don't know what character he plays, but he plays like hardly any parts in it. Correct me if I'm wrong, but his name. I looked up the cast. His name is Hank Azaria.
Oh wait, is that the guy that got shot in the head?
Oh yes, it is. Yes,
he was holding the girl.
Yeah, I
didn't like him either.
I just don't like the actor. He just.
Let me see if I can pull up a picture real quick. Hey, wait, okay. Cassie knew who that was.
He's such a goofball.
Let me find him. Wait, is that the actor's name, Hank?
Yeah, Hank Azaria.
Yeah, let me look him up.
I
don't see him in the cast. All right, let me look. Heat, Hank. Oh, Azaria. Okay, let me see.
He took me as a smartass, and it just kind of bothered me.
Oh, this guy. Oh, what? You don't like him? Oh, I liked him.
Yeah, he bothered me.
Oh, here, let me put this on.
Nothing personal. It just bothered me.
I thought he was funny.
He was funny, but that's what bothered me. I mean, he was asking to be killed.
He was asking to be killed? I don't remember that.
No, not literally, but he was just like he wasn't like
Here, let me put it up. This guy. Oh no! Here, I have to delete one of these images first. I'll delete this one. Okay, let me add another one.
Like before De Niro killed him.
Did De Niro? This guy.
Yeah, I feel like he was just talking shit.
Oh, I liked him. He was funny. He was like a little snitch.
Yeah, there we go. Yeah, that's a little rat.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, that's fine. That's a good choice.
I just feel like he played. Only because he hardly played a part in it. That's
So, what do you think? Like, clearly, when I went in to see this, I didn't expect it to be so brilliantly strung together because I mean, it was really like just reading like an expertly written novel here. Everything's just so well defined. The drama intensifies in every scene, and everyone, the entire cast of characters, they all were just so well written, very rich dialogue. nonstop. I don't think it was a single point in time where I wasn't convinced by the language they were using. I was just immediately drawn to this world, drawn to these characters and their conflicts and their the tension that rose from that. So, what do you think it was that was so clever about this movie? Like for you, what do you think is so clever about Heat? Because it stands out clearly.
Um, Crime versus authority. It just shows how much it's improved. I think this I mentioned to you at your place. How much it's improved throughout the years. Like how easy it would be to catch these guys. Like nowadays, they just didn't have the all the technology. They had kind of low quality cameras for surveillance. There weren't cameras everywhere like there are now.
Hmm.
It just you know, it was like a nice cat and mouse type movie, and I really
Uh-huh.
enjoyed that. Like the really smart detective chasing the mastermind criminal. Um, yeah, that was I haven't seen a movie like that before. So
Yeah. I think like I think what was so clever was just the way they built all these characters up. I think that was like one of the more clever, and then
that's
just
good.
building up the importance of each one of these conflicts because everything seemed really important, and nothing. It doesn't. It seemed like there were consequences to poor choices. If you make a poor choice in this world and in this situation, you're gonna suffer from it, and that's what happened to a lot of these guys. Even just little poor choices, little mistakes they make along the road, they suffer, and those around them suffer as well. So little mistakes catch these guys off guard, and it leads to a rough situation. That's for sure. Here, let's get back to some of the comments again in the chat. Let's see. Here we go. Proctophile. Fun fact about that Val Kilmer scene. That scene is often shown in military and training camps as a standard everyone has to do better than. Oh, you're talking about this scene? Huh. Man, you know what? He handled himself pretty well in this scene, too. I mean, he had cops in front of him and behind him. But I guess that would be sort of like a unfortunate procedure that a military man would have to go through. That's interesting, Proctophile. Brown eyes. I love that scene. It was honestly my favorite portion of the whole movie. The constant blasting of bullets in an open area with pedestrians. The shots so loud, it made it so intense. Yes, that's a good point, Brown eyes. I like that. I love it when the bullets are really loud in a movie. Like me, when I'm watching a movie, I like to have the volume up loud. Partially because I'm kind of hard of hearing, but also I think it intensifies things. Do you think Luke, do you think I have it on too loud? Like, do you think it's too loud at my
no,
place?
there
Or...
is a reason that you're turning it up, and I appreciate that you're turning it up.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah,
and there's no weird reason. It's just people just
talking.
yeah. I personally like watching movies in silence, like Jackson. So
Hmm.
that's
Oh,
the reason.
yeah.
I mean, I just I like movies loud in general. That's why I like IMAX. It's perfect. So yeah,
Yes.
so it's nice. It's great.
Yeah. I like it loud. I think it's just more interesting. And like Luke said, yeah, when you watch a movie in IMAX, it's booming loud. And
Mhm.
you're more there. You're in that world.
Yeah.
I unfortunately, there's neighbors around and they could complain about me. And I've had complaints because my TV's been too loud. So people are lame sometimes. That's so not cool. I remember one of my neighbors told me that, and it was when I was playing a video game. I was playing Star Wars Jedi Survivor, oddly enough, and their wall vibrated from my speaker. And I didn't even think it was that loud. It was weird. It was before I even had the sound bar. I have a sound bar now, and their wall literally vibrated from my speakers, I guess. TV speakers. It wasn't that loud. So I don't
You have
know.
a
They're
sound
tripping.
system.
I know. It's like respect my space, bro. Respect the grind. Proctophile. Basically, if you can't reload quicker than a damn actor, then you don't belong here. Yeah, what's up with that? So people keep mentioning reloading speeds with Val Kilmer. Oh, is that okay? Maybe that's like the military training part.
Mhm.
Is maybe he didn't reload fast enough. I missed that. Um, the plot line with the Allstate guy wasn't necessary, in my opinion, just with Jared. Yeah, I don't care, man. I liked it. It was a good little. It was a subtlety. It was sad though. It was completely like unnecessary. Brown eyes. Well, Val Kilmer is not a stranger to handling a gun. All those flashy moves in Tombstone. Yeah, we're gonna talk about Val Kilmer later in Tombstone. Honestly, I'm not a fan of Tombstone. Maybe I need to watch it all the way through. I love the story of Wyatt Earp, because I believe Wyatt Earp. Yeah, I think Kurt Russell plays Wyatt Earp in Tombstone. I love Kevin Costner's Wyatt Earp. I just watched that again the other day. Have you seen that, Luke? Have you seen Wyatt Earp with Kevin Costner? I think we're gonna watch that and do one of these streams about it sometime. Um, but yeah, we'll talk about Tombstone. Good evening, Gord King. Good to see you, man. I like seeing the Allstate guy. I may remember his name. I used to see him in 24 Jack Bauer with Kiefer Sutherland. Oh man, he was in that too. I don't remember him. I didn't watch very much of that. Uh, let's see. Oh, Dennis Haysbert. I don't even see him on Allstate anymore. I miss those Allstate commercials. Yeah, Gord King, I know you like the movie, so you'll have to let us know what you think about it.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Hey, Jackson.
Okay. And then the guy we were mentioning earlier, another one of the characters neither you and me liked, Luke, Tom Sizemore, Saving Private Ryan. That's what he was from. I liked him in that, though. He was cool. What were you saying?
I before we get into more comments, back when we were talking about themes and like the I like to point out the Gore King, what he said. A really interesting theme is each male's relationship with their woman. Like each
Let me
male.
see if I can find that.
Yeah, each male
we
had a
got a lot of
relationship
chats
with.
here.
It's the second to last one, so it's pretty far down there.
Okay, here we go. This one?
Yep.
Actually, one of the most interesting themes of this movie is each male character's relationships with women. Yeah, that is an interesting part of the movie.
I didn't think about it. I didn't put that together.
I guess it's really, all three of them, right? Val Kilmer, his relationship's weird.
And this
Al
could be
Pacino, his is
a
weird.
reason why they're doing these things, because their life is kind of messed up, and they don't really have much to lose.
Yeah, none of them had good relationships. No, and the only one that really makes it out is Val Kilmer's character. Yeah, well, he is the only one that makes it out.
Ironic because he's one of the worst high school.
Oh yeah. All right, let's see if I could go back to where we were. You distracted me, Luke.
Sorry,
Tom Sizemore.
It was after the. I know.
Here we go. Brown eyes. His voice and presence is so great and commanding. I wish he was in more movies. Oh gosh, which one are you talking about? Oh, are you talking about Tom Sizemore or Dennis Haysbert? I bet you're talking about Dennis Haysbert, and I wish he was too. Yeah, you gotta have a good voice as an actor to portray, to display power and gravitas. He certainly did. If one stops this movie at the gunfight, they're a pleb. Yeah, I know. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Unfortunately, I know too many people our age that do not and will not have the patience to watch 3-hour-long movie that isn't big flashing lights, superheroes, big colorful superheroes on the big screen. I know too many people that wouldn't give this kind of thing a chance otherwise, unfortunately. Dennis also hasn't aged. Dude looks great at 70. Yeah, where have you seen him, man? I don't see anything. Gord King likes Val Kilmer as Batman. I just wish he'd gone to be in a better movie. Man, I don't know. I don't know if I could suffer through his Batman movie. I think it's Batman. Gosh, what is it? Is it Batman Beyond? Let me look that up real quick. Val Kilmer's Batman. Right. Oh yeah, I think you're right. Batman. Yep, Batman Forever. He had a weird suit. Yeah, I just don't like a blonde Batman. I don't want a blonde Batman. It just doesn't really make sense to me.
It doesn't.
Oh, just with Jedi likes him too. Same. I have a fondness of Val as Batman since I watched it growing up. Well, yeah, I guess if who was part of your upbringing, right? De Niro and Pacino's characters are basically opposite sides of the same coin. Yeah, like heads and tails. And yes, you should watch Collateral, one of Cruise's best performances. Yeah, he's like a villain in that, right? Need to see him as a bad guy more. Yep, just a Jedi just answered my question. Get rid of none of this movie. It's 10 out of 10. Man, Gord King is fighting with the chat. Oh, yep. Okay, so he's definitely a villain. How do you guys think the cinematography holds up? Being an older movie, I always have to remind myself that it was made in a very different time versus modern movies. I loved it, man. It was awesome. These fights, the gunfights, and the action was staged beautifully. The conversational drama between characters was great. It's better than now. It is infinitely better, more intense than now. So yes, go back. We need to go back to this time. This we need to choreographers need to, or not choreographers, cinematographers. They need to get their shit together and look at this film to learn a thing or two. Wouldn't you say, Luke?
Yeah, I
Yeah.
agree.
Gord King likes it too. Hell yeah. I was referencing The Godfather as Al Pacino. Michael kills De Niro, young Vito. Oh, okay. Yeah, I got you. I haven't seen part two. That's one I haven't seen. Luke, have you seen Godfather 1 or 2? We need to
Sadly,
watch
no. Yeah, I
those.
know. Yeah, I was thinking about that. We have to watch
Mm,
these. We have to watch these mafia movies.
that's another long one. Maybe
But
not next week, but I think we're going to have to do that soon. I think that would be fun.
mhm.
All right. Gord King. The diner scene was the first time Pacino and De Niro had been on screen at the same time. There's a very clear meta element to that scene. Wow, look at that. So yeah, two like great actors together for the together for the first scene in the film, just like in the movie, the first time they're together talking. That's cool. Man, it's a shame De Niro fell off like he did. He was awesome back in the day. I loved him in Casino. De Niro was awesome in Casino. De Niro was great in Goodfellas. Have you
Goodfellas.
seen
That's a.
Casino or Goodfellas?
I've seen Goodfellas.
Okay,
He was
good.
great in that.
I think we're gonna have to do a stream on that one too.
Yeah,
That's another great film. I love Goodfellas.
kind of reminded me of the Goodfellas character. His
I don't remember
personality.
I don't remember De Niro very much, but Ray Liotta, he was.
Yeah.
They were all like swanky, rich mobsters,
Mhm.
and they were bad business. I mean, they were pretty bad guys. Ray Liotta's character, Henry Hill, I believe. Oh my gosh, he is so cool. He has like this really weird, unique swagger. And it's like him, Joe Pesci, and De Niro. They're sort of like the big three in the movie, and they just kind of rise in power. And the law is kind of coming after them. It's a good one. That's a Scorsese favorite. I think that's my favorite Scorsese film. I don't know what beats that for me. Brown Eyes of Mandalore, Gord King. That's a good call and so true. You can't help thinking as you watch the scene, like, whoa, these two actors are on screen together. Man, they battled out so well, man. All right, good. Back to Wangro. Wangro, he's getting some attention here. Wangro's pathology is definitely more disturbing. He kills because he likes it. For De Niro, it's when it's necessary. Yeah, that's true. Yeah, Wangro is sick. Brown Eyes. One of the relationships I loved a lot was how much Pacino's character cared for his stepdaughter. Even though Natalie doesn't have too many scenes or dialogue, you can feel how much he cares for her. Yeah, and it's awful seeing what happens. Like, right when you think everything bad has happened to Pacino because his wife cheated on him. Some of his friends, his colleagues and coworkers, they got shot and killed, and he's going through this traumatizing investigation, and then his stepdaughter tries to off herself and nearly succeeds in his apartment or his hotel room, and it's like, geez, man, it just doesn't get any worse for him. And it was sad seeing that from her character too, because she was a sweet girl.
Mhm.
So yeah. Oh, that's the guy who played Pharaoh in The Second Night at the Museum. I can't remember the actor's name. Wait, Rami Malek?
No,
I
it
don't
was
think he was in
no, no,
this.
it was Hank Azaria, the funny
Oh
guy.
yeah, yeah, he was. Okay, so yeah, he was Pharaoh, and then Rami Malek, he was also somebody.
I really like
I
Rami
don't
Malek.
remember who he was. Rami Malek, he's kind of squirrely looking.
Yeah,
Then
he's a great actor though. I mean,
yeah, I don't know
yeah.
his character. Well, whatever. Maybe he's like
Uh,
King Tut or something. Gord King, Brown Eyes Maryland. I think his care for the daughter is a good indicator of what motivates him in his work. He shows care to victims as well. She's a victim. Yeah, that's a good point. Let's see. Okay, good. So you mentioned TGV Monsters. Up, man. Prince of Egypt is one of my favorite Kilmer films, Kilmer movies. Great soundtrack. I think that's the one about Moses. Let me look that up real quick because I'm curious. And I think that's an animated film, King of Egypt. Yeah, is that about Moses? No. Yep. Egyptian Prince Moses, based off the biblical story. Oh, cool. Yeah, did he play? Was he Moses? Let me look him up. Oh, not Gods of Egypt. Jeez, nobody likes Gods of Egypt. That was dog. Yeah, I don't. Jeez, what did that get on Rotten Tomatoes? Oh, 14%. That's not the movie you're talking about. Gods of Egypt is different. Prince, I think it's Prince of Egypt, right? Yeah, Prince of Egypt. Yep, Val Kilmer was Moses. Man, good stuff. I gotta check that out. I'm very excited for King of Kings this Thursday, everybody. If you are curious about the animated retelling of Jesus' story, please join me Thursday at 9 p.m. Me and Cami, let's tune in. We're going to be talking about that. We're very excited, so please join us. That would be great. Man, if this came out in IMAX, I'd have my ticket yesterday. This frustrates me so much about like they're re-releasing all these movies. Awesome. Yes. Thank you, theaters, for bringing them back. Thank you very much. Can we get them in IMAX, please? Please? I want to see this in IMAX. Seeing it in a normal standard theater experience is great. It's good, but it's not that much different than watching it at your house. If we had IMAX, if we got all these big movies in IMAX, like why on earth can't we get Revenge of the Sith in IMAX? Why can't we get that? I mean, it was IMAX back in the day, right? I mean, they had to have. Did they not have it back then?
I don't think they had IMAX back.
You don't think so?
I'll look up what you talk.
Look that up because I'm curious, and it's frustrating to me because yes, we need these in IMAX. Can they adapt it for IMAX? Probably not. Maybe it'd be too grainy. I don't know. But
1971.
Yes.
Never mind. It probably
okay, so yes, there's been IMAX. Why not release them in IMAX? I guess there's other big showings, but can't we just get one showing of Heat at 5 p.m. on a Thursday night in IMAX? Let's do it, Cinemark. Let's make it happen.
Oh wow.
Proctophile, maybe think about getting some headphones for your neighbor's sake. Wait, what does that mean? Am I too loud or something?
No, he was talking about when your neighbor is complaining.
Oh, that. Nah. No thanks, Proctophile. I haven't had a complaint in years, so we're better now. Yeah.
Just don't turn
I like
to
listening to it out loud. It's more fun. I haven't had a complaint in years, Proctophile, so I think we figured it out. John Wick was praised about realistic reload and ammo count. Sierra Mauricio. Oh, thanks for joining us, Sierra. And John Wick is awesome. If someone could explain to me what this means about the reloading, I'd like to know because I read about that earlier today and I still don't understand. Gord King. Actually, one of the most interesting themes of this movie is each. Oh, yeah, we talked about that already. Okay, we'll take a pause there and let's talk about Val Kilmer for a little bit. Then we'll come back to the chat a little later. So, Val Kilmer, of course, just passed away recently, which is, a real shame. Obviously, an iconic actor. I'm not too familiar with Val Kilmer. Looking at some of these titles, I guess I kind of remember him in the original Top Gun. Growing up, I did not watch it.
He was in the new one.
Going in to see, yeah, he was barely in the new one, just a little bit, and he didn't talk, obviously, but he barely remembered him in the original Top Gun. I always knew him more as a meme in Batman Forever, but people say they like him, so I would like to see that and find out for myself. I loved him in Willow. I thought he was great in Willow. That's like the only title that I'm familiar with him in, is it Mad Morgan or something like that? Like he has a funny name, and he's like a legendary swordsman. He's really cool, great hero. I love the Willow movie. Willow, I guess I don't know if you know this, Luke. I don't know if you've seen the movie, the original movie either, but they made a TV show about it, and Disney Plus made it, and it was so bad that they literally deleted it from Disney Plus. They made it for Disney Plus, then they took it off the air. Isn't that insane? That's unbelievable. They did not even sit with it. It's gone, so you can't even watch it. That's what I've heard. But yeah, he was great in Willow. I loved him in that. Real shame to see either way. It's just sad to see that so many of these actors you grew up watching and are play crucial roles in a lot of classics are dying off. Like Al Pacino Al Pacino's old, De Niro's old, Kevin Costner is old, Sam Elliott's very old. I mean, all the greatest actors are getting
Yeah,
very old, and
washed out.
it's so sad. And there really just hasn't been anyone to replace them that's worthy enough, in my opinion. Maybe just a few, like three.
Already did.
There's been more decent female actors coming out into the limelight than there has male actors, unfortunately, in my opinion. So I'm a little disappointed by that, but you could just blame Hollywood for boosting them and not new young men audiences or actors. But
We still have Brad
there's a
Pitt.
few good ones.
We still have Brad Pitt.
Yes, Brad Pitt's got it still.
He's
He
still
still
young.
looks good. Yes.
And I'm really after looking at these movies, I'm a huge Doors fan, and I've heard of the movie, but I had no clue that Val Kilmer played Jim Morrison as
Oh wait,
as
what is that? Is that about like a band or something?
the Doors is the band. It's kind of like Bohemian Rhapsody, just like that kind of movie. But he's playing the lead singer of the Doors, Jim Morrison. So I'm gonna have to watch that.
Oh, okay.
It's
Yeah,
interesting.
that immediately caught my attention when I was looking at this. I'm like, what is the Doors?
Yeah, they're a
Huh.
band from the late '60s and early
So
'70s.
he's a pretty good character in that, huh?
Oh yeah, he's the lead singer.
Oh, that's cool. Wait, so like you heard him today. Do you think it was him singing? There was
Uh,
like autotune or something?
huh? Wait, what are you talking about?
Like Val Kilmer. Okay, so he plays the lead of the band. He
Oh,
sang in it, right?
I haven't seen it.
Oh, you haven't seen it.
No, I'm assuming that he sings for himself, just like how Rami Malek sang. Well, actually, no.
Oh, and
Rami Malek actually sang a few parts, but no, it was actually Freddie Mercury, so he might be lip syncing.
mm.
I'd have to watch that, but
So you're a fan of the Doors band.
oh yeah, they're great. So
Oh,
that'd
okay,
be
but you
that'd be
haven't seen the movie.
no, but that'd be cool to see Vlad Kilmer play him.
Oh, you'll have to check that out then. That's
Yeah.
cool, man. Yeah, I'm not too familiar with a lot of these. I think I'd be willing to revisit Tombstone. I guess we'll see what the chat thinks if they're real interested in seeing that again or not. But definitely, if you want to hear the story of Wyatt Earp, just watch Wyatt Earp. Much better, in my opinion. But yeah, I think there's not too much else to say. It's just sad to see that an era is ending. This older era, even '90s heroes are dying, which is just crazy. It's weird. Like it's pretty. It's this was made 1995, right? I mean, that was a long time ago. That was a really long time ago, and it's hard to like quantify that. So yeah, real shame. Thanks, Val Kilmer. We appreciated all your work. Let's see here. We'll put him up for a little bit. Let's see if I had any more points I wanted to make. So, Luke, going back to the movie, I think we've covered a lot of it. A lot of juicy content. I hope the audience has enjoyed listening to this. As for the ending, how did you feel about the way it ended? Which was
I
the
feel like
two you get De Niro and Al Pacino. They have one final standoff. It's actually a pretty long standoff, and it's sort of another cat and mouse. And in the end, Al Pacino he finishes the job. What did
it's
you think of that?
disappointing. I was kind of hoping that he just take him into custody and just pay him the respects there and just but no, De Niro really butchered that for himself.
What?
He really played that wrong. If he did not ring, did they know that he was there, the FBI,
What do you mean?
before he rang the fire alarm, which screwed him? Did they know that he was there already?
Well, I don't think they knew he was there. I think they were surveilling that dude.
Right.
And well, yeah, I think they were surveilling him because they thought he would come, but they lost that they didn't prepare enough for him because there was only two dudes to watch him.
Created so much attention by pulling that fire alarm. I was like, "What are you doing?" Now
I guess he did that to distract the cops.
No, the cops knew that it just created so much attraction to the whole building, and he could have the whole time he could have jumped into the car with the girl and took off, but no, he wanted to run by foot and be chased down. I don't know how
He could not have driven off there.
I don't
There
know
was way too many people. I don't know how he would
from
have
what
gotten
he
out of
did in
there.
the earlier events of the movie. I'm sure he could. 'Cause he was just running through everything else during the gunfight, but there wasn't that much cavalry on the streets except for Pacino running like a madman, like running like 30 miles an hour. Looks like he caught up to De Niro surprisingly quick. They had some distance between each other, but uh, he could have walked to the side in the crowd more. He had the cop suit on. Nobody knew who he was except for Pacino. He could have been more subtle about it, but no, he ran right into the open. I didn't like the ending. It dragged it out, and they could have made it a 2-minute scene, but no, they made it literally probably a 15-minute scene. And I just didn't like how he just ended him like that. He just shot him. I do like how they paid respects and they held hands at the end. That was kind of odd, but I liked it. It was like finally like they like the history these two have with each other. It's cool to see them like actually respect each other um, for the amount of trouble they went through with each
I
other.
like that you mentioned they held hands in the end.
Yeah,
You make it sound so girly. Like,
no,
I guess
they held
he
hands.
was like he's dying. He's like just come for me while I
It was a
die. I
respect
mean,
thing, yes, but I mean
yeah.
they held hands. I mean that's
I don't know. For me, I liked the ending. I do think it was a little bit. I don't know. I guess I would have rather it had been like Robert De Niro did escape, but
you know where to go.
yeah, I guess it's just two different ways it could have went, right? I don't know. I'm fine. I liked the ending here, but I think I also would have liked the ending a little better if he escaped with the girl. It would have just been nice because I mean he cold shoulders her really badly there, and that's where okay, so like when he escapes after he offs Wangro, gosh, I keep forgetting his name. Yeah, Wangro, the awful ugly dude. This guy after he offs him, Robert De Niro offs him. He escapes, but all the heat is on him, and tons of cops are starting to appear. And he's going out, and he's going to meet this lovely lady he's going to escape to New Zealand with. And he sees her, and he sees Al Pacino racing towards him, and he turns around and he just walks the other way and starts running away and leaves her, and she's like in shock. And this was like one of those big callbacks. I immediately thought of how it was, how he mentioned this earlier in the film, where he said something like, you can't have a solid relationship with somebody unless you're willing to split with them within 30 seconds. And then you literally saw that in that scene. And I immediately thought of that little piece of dialogue he said. And I'm like, okay, this is rich. This is rich storytelling. So I did like that. But at the same time, it would have been a happier ending if he was with the lady.
Mm-hmm.
So, yeah, just different ways it ends, right?
Yeah.
Let's go back to the chat here for a little bit. Sorry if I accidentally skipped some. Looking here. Let's see. TGV Monster. If a movie is good, I don't care how long it is. I like the Lord of the Rings extended cuts. Yeah, man. Yeah, I think if it's a great movie, long is good. There's so many terrible movies that are long too, which is sad. Like for me, like TV show wise, I used to love shows. I used to love investing time into TV series, but so many series have been so terrible the last few like the last 5 years, ever since 2020, shows have just been garbage. They really have. There's been so much slop, especially all the mainstream stuff from Marvel, Disney, Star Wars, whatever else. There's been just slop poured out of the big pipe of big box office companies, big box office studios. And I've lost respect for it. I don't want to invest in these really long stories. Now I'm much more interested in movies. One sitting, you sit down, you watch a movie, you follow the story from start to finish. I don't really want a sequel to it. I want one movie, one great movie. I don't care if it's long either. And the extended cuts are awesome. You got to watch the extended editions, not just the standard ones. Gord King, Brown Eyes Mandalore. His wife is sympathetic but not virtuous. Yeah, I'd say none of the wives were virtuous in this, unfortunately. Nobody was really virtuous except Al Pacino. He was like the only virtuous character in the whole movie. Proctophile. Batman Beyond was the animated expansion to the original animated series. Oh yeah. Whoops. Should have said cartoon series. My brain is broken after binging too much stupid stuff lately. I need to rebuild. Hey, stupid's fun, man. Stupid is fun. And you know what? Gord King, he's trashing me because I love Minecraft. And that is stupid fun, man. It's stupid fun. Keyword
Wait, who?
fun. Gord King, he really doesn't like it.
Oh, I was like, I love Minecraft,
Really
man.
doesn't like it. I think it. I think, if you just I think you and me both grew up with Minecraft, so it was kind of a prevalent
Right.
element in our life.
It was good. We
And
needed it. We needed that.
yeah, and it's just fun. It's happy. It's not
It casts
preaching
helped
anything
out
to
a lot.
you. I thought it was funny.
It
We
was super
laughed a lot,
straightforward.
didn't we? We laughed
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah, it was great.
And
It
you
was
know
just
what, Gord King, and just anybody that doesn't like Minecraft, which is totally fine. But something that oddly helped with this movie was you probably weren't entangled in it, but on social media, for whatever reason, there was just numerous memes and stuff about it. And it was like just sort of like as Jack Black, he used like a lot of like buzzwords just constantly, and they found a way to make it really funny online. And it's really hard to make someone understand that hasn't seen it, but it sort of gets ingrained in yourself, and you get excited seeing it like performed on the big screen. So it made it almost an event just for that reason. And I
chicken
know it sounds
jockey.
silly, but yeah, it's stupid, but it's fun.
Hey,
I
show your
enjoy it.
chicken jockey.
Yep,
He's
there
good.
you
Chicken
go.
jockey.
There you go. I'm
Yeah,
proud of it. It
it's how
sits next
you
to my
should
King
be.
Theoden
Yes.
statue. All right, Gord King says Casino is so underrated. It's rarely hailed as one of Scorsese's best, but I think it and Goodfellas are neck and neck. Wow, you put it that close, huh? Man, I loved Joe Pesci's awesome in both of those. Totally pretty different. I remember, is he worse in Casino? I can't remember. Actually, I don't think he was. I can't remember. I need to watch Casino again. I really don't like Sharon Stone in Casino. I know some of my buddies were into her. I was not. Taxi Driver is a good De Niro film. You talking to me? Gosh, man, Taxi Driver is disturbing, man. When we saw that for the first time, I don't know if you didn't watch it with us, Luke, but I know we watched it at a movie night like a year ago, and that movie, it's a rough watch for sure. It's a gross movie, but I mean, it's a cult classic, and like Robert De Niro's
Mhm.
character right off the bat, you think he's going to be this smooth ladies man, and he's going to have everything put together in life, but he's actually insane. Like that is just a veil that could quickly gets torn right off the bat. Brown Eyes of Mandalore. A recent mob movie is The Irishman. It's got all the classic mob actors, but it feels like it's trying to be like them, but without the charm. Yeah, that's super long, I hear. And I've heard something similar, Brown Eyes, so thank you for bringing that up. Gord King seems to like it a little bit. It's good, not great. Prince of Egypt has a great cast. Ralph Fiennes as Ramses is iconic with his great Moses scene. Oh, I didn't know he played Ramses. Cool. It annoys me that Ghost in the Darkness isn't on that Val Kilmer chart. Highly underrated. Ghost in the Darkness. Oh, I never heard of that one. Let's see. Some people are pretty anal about realism. Oh, wait, about realism is action scenes like fights and shootouts. For them, little details like bullet count and reload speed can make or break a scene. Yeah, I guess I'm not. Yeah, it's funny when you have like an action scene where somebody's firing or like a shotgun or something, and they just have unlimited ammo. Especially with a shotgun, which clearly does not hold that much. So I guess that makes sense. It is funny, and sometimes it sticks out, especially like a pistol. Someone's firing a pistol a bunch of times, and it's like, okay, buddy, you probably have like 12 rounds in there. You're gonna reload. Brown Eyes. I saw the first episodes of Willow, and it's as bad as it sounds, and then some. Absolutely unbearable. Even the Acolyte in Rings of Power was more bearable, maybe. Oof. Gosh, that's sad. And Val Kilmer was, of course, not in it. And Warwick Davis. That's a shame. I liked Warwick Davis. I was at Star Wars Celebration once in Chicago, and he was the host of Celebration, and he did a great job as the host. I loved him. Great speaker. Let's see. Brown Eyes of Mandor. It's hard for me to fathom something being more unbearable than Rings of Power. Yeah. Gosh, it's so sad how far it fell off, especially that second season. Disparu did a series of react videos to the new Willow show that are still up. It's legit the only way to watch it nowadays. That's hilarious. Yeah, he got deep into that. I've been on 2 streams with Disparu. He's a pretty interesting dude. He's got a lot to say. He's smart, very well spoken. Brown Eyes of Mandalore. One of my favorite songs ever is "The End" by The Doors. You hear that? Geez, I almost called you Jordan. Do you hear that, Luke? The song itself is an experience. It's like exiting a trance after it's done. You know what that is?
If I heard it, I'm sure I'll look at it if you talk. My other monitor, but I've heard of the song.
Sorry, sometimes I skip conversations chat just because like you guys are talking to each other. So just so you know, Gord King, I love the ending and the person who compromised lost, as De Niro couldn't help but take out Waingro when he didn't have to. Yeah, that's true. De Niro's hubris failed him in the end. He couldn't let that one loose and he couldn't let that one loose end go. Yeah, I was thinking about that. Like, I think he wanted to escape to New Zealand with just peace on his mind, where he's like, okay, this Wangro guy, he's insane. He knows a lot about me. He's gonna hunt me down and kill me. So I could kind of understand, I guess. It was stupid, but I mean, it's sort of understandable, like one last loose end. And it was a pretty big one, too. He could possibly follow him all the way into his new haven that he goes to. You guys ever watch The Taking of Pelham 123? If not, I bet you guys would love the conversations between Denzel and Travolta.
Ooh.
I have no idea what that is. I've never heard of it either.
Love Travolta.
Denzel's great and Travolta's great. We like both of them. Oh, all right, man. Cool. Nice Proctophile. Might check that out. Just with Jared. I remember I like it, but it has been a minute. I'll have to give Taking a Pelham 123 a watch. 123. I don't even know how to say that. Speaking of Travolta, I just saw The Thin Red Line, and seeing him in a military uniform was so weird but cool. The Thin Red Line, is that a newer film? I can't remember. I think I saw that on a streaming service recently. Let's see. Okay, just with Jared. He's got some recommendations here. There's been a lot of good TV, though. Hot D. What the hell is that? Reacher. Last of Us. Come on, bruh. Not Ellie. Get her out of there now. There we go. Minecraft made me want to Minecraft myself. Hey, that's a good word in our definition, man. So that means you loved it. I work on shows slowly. Over the year, I saw The Tudors, amazing, Vikings up to season 6, and Versailles, which is pretty good. Man, I don't know any of these shows. Is anyone here not from America? I'm definitely curious if we have any non-American guests today, because maybe you guys, I have never heard of any of those except Vikings. I never finished Vikings, but I did enjoy it when it first came out. I think it's like really gory, so I didn't check it out. I platinumed the game. Oh my gosh, you did? Proctophile, why'd you waste your money on that? You're better than that. Assassin's Creed Shadows, that's the newest one, I think. I platinumed the game, Assassin's Creed Shadows, to get all the first-hand experience. Needed to confirm all the complaints about it for a channel I mod for. Then I binged the Yasuke anime today. I barely survived. You poor guy. That's rough. I don't really understand the whole mod thing, too. Like, when I watch other people's streams, I see... Maybe you can tell me about it, Luke. I see like characters in the chat and they have the little wrench emoji.
Yeah,
and I don't, and there's always a bunch of them. Like I was watching somebody yesterday and he had like 5 different people that had that wrench on there. And I'm like, I just don't understand the purpose of that.
It's just a streaming thing.
Is that
gaming? Yeah, it's I never gotten into any of that.
Well, Proctophile, maybe you can enlighten me because it sounds like you are a mod. I don't think our chat needs moderation, though. Everybody's cool. A combined 60 hours I'll never get back. Oh, man. You're the man. If you got through Assassin's Creed Shadows, jeez, it looked terrible. Yasuke, ugh. If you want really amazing EDO period or Edo period Japan content, watch Blue Eye Samurai. Absolutely insanely great show. Yeah, I've heard good things. Drinker like that one. Oh, Hot D is House of the Dragon. Oh, Proctophile liked Blue Eye Samurai as well. Yep, everybody seems to know what Hot D is. I've never heard that before. And then I think we might end with this chat here from Just with Jared. Bella Ramsey is a unique interpretation of Ellie. Her performance was good, but quite different from the game. Yeah, no, I didn't like her, Jared. You know what? It sounds like you were settled with her though, so good for you, buddy. Good for you. Well, guys, I think that's it for us talking about Heat. We were very pleased. We had a great time watching this film.
Oh yeah.
I was a little worried going into it. I didn't think I'd be so engrossed. I was wrong. It's great. There's maybe like one or two scenes you have to skip. Not really. It's not bad. Great action, great characters, great drama. So, Luke, do you recommend our audience checks out Heat, or should they just check something else out?
Oh, I 100%. I wouldn't watch it for a Vlad Kilmer movie. You made me think that he was like the lead role, so I was a little
I
disappointed
know
to see.
that was disappointing.
Yeah, I was, but yeah, I mean, the cast is almost as good as it gets when it comes to like a crime and cop movie. Like you got the great intense badass what do you call it detective Al Pacino, and then you got the mastermind, the heist. I just love how like the darker the heists, the better, because they weren't holding back at all. They were just firing guns, ruthless as could be. I like that, so I recommend it. I give it a 9 out of 10. That was a very
Yeah,
solid movie.
I think a nine's pretty appropriate.
You know,
I'd like to see it again, and I'd like to see it in IMAX, like everybody's saying. Yeah.
Lord King.
Huh. Well, yep. So I think that's it for us, guys. Definitely two recommends here. Thank you so much for watching. Please, before you go, make sure to like the video, subscribe to the channel, check out Gally Ardo's channel here too, and check out his food content where he eats food real fast. What do you call it again? Like competitive eating?
Yeah, it's competitive eating. It's
Competitive eating.
Yeah, Scaliardo eats.
And he loves film, so be sure to support our friend here. And thank you all for your support. If you are interested in learning more about King of Kings, the newest Angel Studios film, giving us the animated retelling of Jesus' story, I guess it's narrated by Charles Dickens. I'm kind of curious about the correlation there. Obviously, not the real Charles Dickens, but I think there's like some sort of narrative that is like a side story to this film. So that should be interesting. We'll talk about it Thursday when I watch it. But yeah, join me and Cammy from Let's Tune In. We're very excited about this movie. Beautiful trailers leading up to it. I think there's a lot of good momentum here. So be sure to join us there. But anyways, we always appreciate the time you spend with us. We appreciate you, and we thank you so much for joining us. So we'll see you next time. See you guys.